What is the smart system which you see in news? Is China more important than India for Tesla? And why a balance is necessary in the use of fertilizers? Hello everyone, I am Srivastava and I am here with the 3 must reads from the Indian Express today. आज की तारीख है 2 May 2 और आप सब जानते हैं कि it is said that newspaper reading and preparing for competitive examination go hand in hand. This is a fact. Everybody knows that newspaper reading is very important. But किसी newspaper को कैसे पढ़ना चाहिए, एक पर्टिकुलर न्यूज आइटम में क्या चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है और क्या चीज आप अवॉइड कर सकते हैं, एंड वेयर यू हैव टू गो बियॉन्ड द हेडलाइन, दैट इज समथिंग विच यू मस्ट नो, नॉट ओनली फॉर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन बट इट्स इज कॉल्ड द आर्ट ऑफ रीडिंग अ न्यूज़पेपर. कई बार हमसे ये भी कहा जाता है कि न्यूज़पेपर को पढ़ने में कितना समय देना चाहिए. सम पीपल स्पेंड एटलीस्ट 2, 3, 4 hours of a day. Well, that should not be your time frame. Okay, try to cover the newspaper as quickly as possible, which also includes making the notes of it and also revising the news. It's important not only for current affairs but also to understand the issue, various dimensions of the issues, to understand the style of writing, and obviously the facts and the factual information along with the analysis. आते हैं मुद्दे पे. And we are talking about the first must read from the Indian Express. कई बार हम डायरेक्टली एक्सप्लेन्ड पेज पे चले जाते हैं, कई बार हम एडिटोरियल पे चले जाते हैं जब हमें फ्रंट पेज पे कोई न्यूज़ नहीं मिलती है अपने एग्जाम के लिए. But there are certain pages in between which talk about some important facts and information. One such news is from the Express Network page, and this is regarding DRDO successfully tests missile assisted torpedo release system. Okay, this is the headline. Then the subtext or the excerpt says next gen system to boost navy's anti submarine warfare capability. इसमें आपको 2 इंफॉर्मेशंस तो मिल जा रही कि DRDO ने एक मिसाइल असिस्टेड टॉर्पेडो रिलीज किया है, रिलीज सिस्टम को टेस्ट किया है, सक्सेसफुली टेस्ट किया है, एंड द सेकेंड इंफॉर्मेशन इज दैट हाउ इट्स गोइंग टू बूस्ट नेवीज एंटी सबमरीन वॉरफेयर कैपेबिलिटी. अब इसमें 2 चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है. एक तो फैक्ट्स, ठीक है. सेकेंडली देयर आर थिंग्स विच माइट नॉट बी डिफाइंड इन द आर्टिकल जो आपको सर्च करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय टॉर्पेडोज, ठीक है, एंड हाउ इज इट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम से मिसाइल्स. अब टॉर्पेडो जो है, to the best of my knowledge, you can always correct me if I'm wrong in the comment box, torpedo travels and targets underwater. ठीक है, so it targets submarines and underwater के जो operations होते हैं, that is done by a torpedo. Then how is it different from a missile? That is something you should look for. Now this news becomes very important for Navy strength, okay, increasing the Navy's strength. Now let's just look at what this article says. Let's look at the first paragraph. तो background यही है, इतना आपको पता होना चाहिए, और जब आप पढ़ेंगे you'll see that DRDO on Wednesday tested a next generation torpedo release system aimed at boosting the Navy's anti-submarine warfare capabilities, the Defense Ministry said. Now this system is known as SMART. Okay, the SMART system. Okay, and what is the full form? The supersonic missile assisted release of torpedo, that is SMART system, has been designed and developed by DRDO. This missile based mechanism to launch lightweight torpedo can target submarines hundreds of kilometers away, far beyond the conventional range of lightweight torpedoes. It will be particularly employed in the absence of other assets for immediate action when an enemy submarine is detected. अब ये जो पैराग्राफ है, इसको ऐसे मत समझिए कि इससे कुछ क्वेश्चन बनेगा. ओके, मे बी देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन विच विल बी फ्रेम फ्रॉम इट, लेकिन इट इज हेल्पिंग यू टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम. ठीक है, आपको टॉर्पेडो के बारे में समझ यहाँ पे आ रही है और आपको ये समझ में आ रहा है दैट हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ नेवी. ठीक है, सो डायरेक्टली आप ये मत एक्सपेक्ट करिए कि इससे क्वेश्चन बन जाएगा, इससे क्वेश्चन आएगा एग्जाम में. मे बी नो क्वेश्चन इज फ्रेम्ड फ्रॉम हियर, but it is helping you to understand that how it is going to increase the strength of navy. So इसलिए इस तरह के आर्टिकल को इस तरह से पढ़ना चाहिए. Now look at the second paragraph, which says, the third paragraph, which says the system which can be launched from both coast and warship. This is an important thing. Was successfully flight tested at around 8:30 a.m. from the ground mobile launcher from the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Island off the Odisha coast, according to the ministry. So just open the atlas and look at this. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Island, which is at the Odisha coast, of the Odisha coast. So ye information again, just for your information, this should be known to you. तो ये atlas के through आप इस चीज को देखिए, ठीक है. Remember, this is called the smart system, and it's going to make Navy smarter. Okay, so that is how you can understand. The smart system is going to make Navy smarter. How? That is something you have to look for. तो इस तरह की न्यूज़ को ऐसे कवर कर लेते हैं. Now let's move to the second important pick. Okay, now the second important pick, I would like to take you to the explained page. Okay, and in fact the explained page has the next two important picks. Now, when you come to the explained page, there is a small explainer on Tesla. Now, you see, there has been a news in the past, we've covered in the UPSC key also, that how Tesla was supposed to come to India, how, Elon Musk was supposed to come to India, but then he postponed his visit and went to China. Now, this is not a private company news, कि ठीक है ये private company का news है तो हम क्यों cover कर रहे हैं, but it is talking about EVs, okay, it is talking about electric vehicles, and there China versus India type of thing. In fact, जब आप news पढ़ेंगे, then you would also see the mention of US and EU or European countries. Electrical vehicle is an issue. EV is something which you should concentrate on. And then the competitive countries, the competition between the countries, China, India, US, EU, इस news को इस तरह पढ़िए. Do not see it as a news which is related to Elon Musk or it is related to Tesla, तो उसको छोड़ दें because it's a private company thing. No, that's not how you have to deal with it. So let us come here. It says explained economy, but I also see it as an explained IR kind of thing where economy is a important player. Now see, why is China more important for Tesla than India? Now, within a week of postponing his visit to India, Tesla CEO Elon Musk landed in Beijing, underscoring China's importance in the global supply chain of the world's most valuable electric vehicle. This is EV maker. Now, इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल क्या होते हैं, उसके क्या एडवांटेज होते हैं, ओके, विद कंपैरिजन टू अदर व्हीकल्स, ये सारी चीज़ें यू शुड नो ऑलरेडी. दिस इज द बैकग्राउंड इन्फॉर्मेशन विच यू शुड प्रिपेयर. अगर नहीं है तो यू कैन लुक एट द एक्सप्लेनर्स ऑफ द इंडियन एक्सप्रेस फ्रॉम द आर्काइव्स और गूगल इट अबाउट इट एंड ट्राई टू मेक अ good note out of it. Okay, you should know about it. But then the thing is, why China? Okay, these are the two important factors why China is important here, is because China accounts for over half of global electric vehicle sales, largely driven by its dominance in battery production. एक तो ये फैक्ट है कि उसकी डोमिनेशन है बैटरी प्रोडक्शन में, तो इसकी जो सेल है वो हाफ ऑफ द ग्लोबल ईवी सेल है इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल सेल्स में. तो चाइना इज अ काइंड ऑफ अ लीडर देयर. China has also, and this is the second important factor, China has also left Europe and US far behind in electric vehicle production. ये जो दो पॉइंट्स है ये आपको इसमें से carve out करने हैं, ठीक है, not with reference to Tesla only or not with reference to any private company player, but with reference to the importance of China as a player in the EV market. Okay, the second important point here which you should understand is why about India's nascent EV push, and there's a very important paragraph which you should look at. It says a global shift from internal combustion engine vehicle to EVs present a massive opportunity, but India's EV push is still in its nascency. Okay, it's very nascent here. According to a 2022 Niti Aayog report, the biggest demand of lithium-ion batteries, again, an important thing which you should note, in India comes from consumer electronics such as laptops and mobile phones. The LIB market through EV sales in India was only about 1 gigawatt, compared to 4.5 gigawatt for consumer electronics. The report, however, said that India is well positioned to capture a large share of the growing market and could represent 13% of global battery demand by 2030. So again, important information. It tells you why it's in the nascent stage, but what is a future hope. Now, there's a very, semi-important paragraph, but a little bit, that why there is this kind of India is a little lagging there when it comes, for example, with Tesla, why going to China, Elon Musk, why is going to China. इसमें एक तो है वो regulatory flip-flops दिया है कि कैसे how our policy. Okay, so for example, Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant said in earlier in 2018 that we don't need any electrical vehicle policy, but then a center has kind of come up in 2018-19. The center increased custom duty on completely knocked down imports of motor vehicles. Last month, when India finally released its EV policy, so EV policy ab aa gayi. So this flip flop of India's stand on EV is one of the reasons which is mentioned here, is that there is a kind of a regulatory flip flop. Okay. Now, what is the opportunity? What is the opportunity for India? Again, an important paragraph here. See, it mentions, और ये चीज को आप underline करिए कि despite China's dominance over the EV supply chain, its exports are increasingly coming under scrutiny in Europe and the US. So Europe और US में इसकी scrutiny हो रही है. अगर आप इसको dominance तो बढ़ रहा है China का, but at the same time US and Europe are doing scrutiny of its sales, presenting an opportunity, and this is an opportunity for India. Now these three lines are very important. The European Commission in October last year launched an anti-subsidy investigation into the import of battery electric vehicles from China. Okay, so this is how they are doing the scrutiny. Now, the last thing is, meanwhile, US Secretary of Commerce has also warned the Chinese EVs are a threat to US car makers. So you see, this can be an opportunity for India because US and EU are not in a way promoting the China's growth in the EV market share. So that can be seen as an opportunity for India. Okay, so this is a good paragraph and a good article, not only telling you about China and India ka comparison, but at the same time how India can have an opportunity here. So it's a full-fledged answer according to me. Now let's come to the third important thing. The third important take is the challenge and necessity of balance in use of fertilizers. Again, there are two important parts here. One, what is a balanced fertilizer and things around it, and then what is the opportunity for India. उसके बीच में हरीश दामोदरन ने बहुत सारे facts and figures दिए हैं to make his point clear, but you don't need to go into more facts and figures because it is a very in-depth news around agriculture, so बहुत सारे questions उसमें से नहीं बनते हैं, but at the same time you have to focus on certain key terms, the concept and opportunity for India. So there are two things which you should focus on. पहला paragraph देख लेते हैं जल्दी से कि balanced fertilizer that is discouraging farmers from applying too much urea, diammonium phosphate or muriate of potash, which have only primary nutrients in high concentration, is likely to be the key policy goal for the new government that takes over after the conclusion of the Lok Sabha election. तो इसमें DAP बहुत important है, आपको MOP पता होना चाहिए what it is. Now see the last line in this particular section, it says, but the consumption of urea has only gone up during the last 6 years. So urea का consumption बहुत बड़ा है. Now यहाँ पे जो बात करने की कोशिश की जा रही है वो है न्यूट्रिएंट बेस्ड सब्सिडी की. तो उस चीज के बारे में ये जो पैराग्राफ है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट जाता है, फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ, एंड यू कैन नोट इट डाउन समवेयर दैट फर्टिलाइजर्स कंटेन न्यूट्रिएंट्स दैट आर नेसेसरी फॉर अ प्लांट ग्रोथ एंड ग्रेन यील्ड्स. Balanced fertilizers mean, what does a balanced fertilizer actually mean? It means supplying primary nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, secondary sulfur, calcium, magnesium, and micro iron, zinc, copper, manganese, boron and molybdenum. nutrients in right proportions based on salt, soil type and crop requirements. So ये जो पैराग्राफ है ये बहुत पोटेंशियल इससे क्वेश्चन बन सकता है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बन सकता है. इसको कहीं पे आप लिख लीजिए और बार बार इसको आप रिवाइज करिए. उसके बाद there has been थोड़ी chronology explain करने की कोशिश की गई है. You can skip it if you want. But why is it an opportunity for India? That is important because India is highly import dependent when it comes to fertilizers. And if there is high global prices and foreign exchange both outgo and the government subsidy burden. तो ये अगर दोनों चीजें बढ़ जाती हैं तो गवर्नमेंट की सब्सिडी पे भी बर्डन बढ़ेगा. अगर there's a cooling of international prices, यानी international prices कम होते हैं, तो it would give some flexibility to the next government to rationalize MRPs of fertilizers and promote balanced plant nutrition. This could involve bringing urea under NBS and mitigating the impact of a significant hike in its MRP by increasing the subsidy rates on the nutrients. So it is giving you an idea that what is a way forward. It is telling you what it can be the international scenario which will affect India's domestic policy on fertilizers, and then it gives you some definition on nutrient based subsidy and so on and so forth. तो इसलिए इस आर्टिकल को इस तरह पढ़िए, घबराइए मत. with facts and figures, understand the idea. That's all from me today. Please write to me at manas.srivastava@indianexpress.com. Keep following our other initiatives. Think smart, work hard, conquer your goal. Bye bye.